This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Zinger by Crossroads. And the model number is 390DB. And this is not a sales video or a floor plan video. It's a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So you got regular crank down stabilizer jacks. You have 2 power awnings with LED strip. Okay. You have three entry doors. You have the bedroom entry door here in the rear. Okay. This is the vent for the LP furnace. This vent up here is for the range hood over the range. So if you're using the burners and you want to vent to the outside, make sure that the baffle in here is flapping freely. So you can see there's 2 little finger holes there where you could just put your index finger, your thumb up there, and just pop it loose so that it flaps freely. When you're traveling or in stores, you can just snap it shut, but if you're venting, you want to be able to vent to the outside, okay? This is your fill for your fresh water tank. The reason you'd want to do that is, or fill it, let's say you're camping someplace without city water. So in that case, you would pre-fill your fresh water tank, and when you get to the place you're camping, you would turn on the water pump inside, and all the plumbing will work as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping it out of your tank. Of course, if you have city water, you don't have to worry about the pump or the water tank when it comes to your plumbing, okay? This is just an outside regular duplex 120 AC. Tie off for your dog. Sliding door, of course, going to your main living area. Another bedroom door. Alright, so we'll come around the front here. You have a deep cycle marine battery here. You have 2 LP tanks. Your tongue jack. This here, just so you know, this little hookup right here, that's in case you wanted to get a portable solar panel kit that would be used to charge the battery. This one's made by Go Power, I believe, so it would just be a little folding kit that kind of folds like a little suitcase. Some of them do anyway. And you would plug it right into there, point it towards the sun, and it can charge your battery in an emergency. That's just an option as a pre-wire. Okay, so here we have storage, and we have your solar controller. So it's going to be hard to see this right here because of the angle and the light and everything. So I'm just going to wait till it comes around and show you if I can. Okay. So right now it's just resetting, and I'm allowing it to. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you're not going to have to do that. When I was prepped, it hadn't been done yet. So basically, the way we'll do it when you get here, we'll show you how this works. Basically, what it does is it tells you the DC voltage in your system. So it'll tell you how many DC volts. It should be like 13.5, somewhere in there, right? And also it'll tell you the amount of DC power that's being created from sunlight. So it'll tell you how many amps it's creating and storing in the battery. Okay. It'll also tell you the temperature of the battery. So it does a lot of different things, and we can talk to you more about that when you get here. It'd be easier than trying to do it with the camera. This is the on and off switch for your solar power system here. If you can see it better that way. Okay? Alright. Okay, so if you notice, you have slide toppers up here on your slide rooms, all three of them. Storage here, this would be under the front bed. This is a shower, an outside shower slash sprayer. This is a black tank flush here. I'll talk to you more about those in a minute. Well, I can talk to you about this one right here now. So when you're, every toilet has a black tank, right? So after you dump your black tank, let me find the correct valves here. In that case, it would be this one here, right? So when you dump your black tank, you leave the valve open. Then you would hook the hose at the dump station onto here, turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of the tank out. It'll spray off the sensors so you get a really good accurate reading, that sort of thing. But like it says on this sticker, do not use the flush valve or the flush tank unless the valve is open. You always want the black tank valve to be open before you turn on any water pressure here, because you don't want too much pressure to build up inside, okay? So that's a black tank flush, and these are your valves here. 2 gray tanks and a black tank. All right. You have this is a 50 amp system, so you get the 50 amp cord, plus we give you the reducer, reduce it down to a 30, and another one to reduce it down to a 20. Okay. Storage underneath your rear bed, and here's your dump hose here, and here's the smaller 30 to 20 amp reducer. Okay. Okay, so the back you have another gray tank and another black tank. Okay, so this would be the rear bathroom right here. Let me come to the back of the tank here. So therefore, you have a city water hookup, right? This is the most common way to get water to the trailer. Remember, I told you if you don't have city water where you're going, you can pre-fill the tank and use the onboard pump. Well, normally most places will have city water, so you'll just hook your hose right up to here. Okay, this is the second black tank flush for the rear toilet, right? So you would there's your gray. The gray is sink and shower water, and then the black is toilet water and waste. So after you dump your black tank, you put the hose, leaving the valve open, you put the hose on here at the dump station, turn it on, spray it out until you get it good and clean off the sensors, that sort of thing, okay? So you have 2 black tanks and 2 black tank flushes. You also have, you can see the housing up there. This is pre-wired, prepped for a Furrion backup camera kit. So if you ever want to add one of those, it's already pre-wired for that. You just make sure you get the right one to fit that housing. We do sell them here. Either way, no matter where you buy, just make sure you get the right product, okay? This is a telescoping ladder hookup from Lippert. It comes with the hookup on it in case you want to add the ladder. Okay. While we're looking up here, the manufacturer says every 90 days you should inspect your roof. So make sure you inspect it. Make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get through any of the sealant. Make sure there's no damage to the roofing material or roofing attachments caused by low branches or road debris, things like that. Okay. Should be part of your regular maintenance. People generally don't inspect their roof enough, okay? Spare tire, of course. Alrighty. So we'll come around here to the center and we'll go inside. Okay. So, first thing we see is your control panel right here. 3 slide outs, right? 3 switches, 2 awnings and 2 switches. You can see down there, for example, in and out. Never leave the awnings out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll them in. Otherwise they will get damaged by the weather eventually. You have lights here. Your water pump is right here. I just turned it on. Remember, the water pump's used to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. Okay? All your your batteries charged, fresh water, your two black tanks, gray tanks, okay, they're all right here, and they graduate up in 1/3 increments. All right. It says here battery hookup is required for slide out operation. Always make sure you have a charged battery on there when you're working the slide outs, because if you don't, they draw a ton of amps when they first start. The motor engages and starts moving the slide out. So you don't want it to pop a fuse or a breaker or anything like that. So you always want a battery on there to help give it that boost, okay? These are your keys, of course. Now this has on-demand hot water. I don't know if I mentioned that. I might have walked right past it. Let me go look. I can't just let that sit like that. Let me walk around real quick. I think I just walked right past it. Okay, so it does have on-demand hot water. So there's no water tank. It just heats the water as you demand for it. Thing to remember is this is the master switch for it. Straight line, of course, means on. So right now it's on. When you're not using it, or not using it for in between trips or in storage, you can shut it off. If you can't get it working, always come back and check this to make sure somebody didn't flip it off. Just keep in mind that it has a safety. If there's no water available, let's say you turn it on the inside and try to get to work and it just keeps faulting. Well, it's doing that generally 9 times out of 10 because there's no water available. You either have to have city water hooked up with the tap on, so you got water supply when you call for it, or you have to have water in your fresh water tank with the water pump on, so it can call for water and get it as needed. Otherwise, if you don't have that, it will not allow the burner to light, the gas burner to light, because it doesn't want to overheat and damage things. So always, if you're not, first thing you do is check your switch. Second thing is to make sure you have water supply, either city water hooked up and turned on, or water in the fresh water tank with the water pump on. Okay, so let's go back inside. It works really well though, and it takes away all the problems. Like if 3 people have to shower in a row, for example, you'll have plenty of water. You never run out. Plenty of hot water. You never run out. Okay. Fire extinguisher, of course. So I turn this way. See that we're talking about it. And this is the controller for it right here. So you just turn it on there. You see it's set at 120. You can set the temperature up and down this way. We'll leave it at 120. Change from Celsius to Fahrenheit there. So when you come in here, I can't run it because you have. I can't. Apparently you requested this winterized, I believe. So I can't run it because it'll just run all the antifreeze out of it. So we'll have, when Chris comes here, he can demonstrate it to you. But basically, once you've turned it on, you're just going to turn on the hot water faucet, and you're going to get an endless supply of hot water. Okay. And I'll let him take care of that when he comes to when you come to pick up and he demos it for you. This is the thermostat. It's very simple. You just push the mode button till you get to mode right there, and then you're going to turn it up just like any knob. Heat, cool, off, cool, heat, and let's say I chose heat, then the next time it's going to let me set the temperature, right? So it lets me set the temperature. Now if I go to, let me take it to cool, that's air conditioning, then I push it, it'll have me choose fan speed, high auto. Always use that when you're using the air conditioner, always use the auto, low auto or high auto. Right now it's on high auto and set to 60 degrees, so very simple. I'm going to shut it off because we don't need it. Okay, very simple. Okay, so here we have a TV. Now this is more than just a TV. This has, let me look around here for 1 second. This has, I just want to look at this to make sure I give you correct information. I didn't prep this trailer. Normally they leave the covering on it so you can tell. But this, I believe, this has FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly. It has 2 speaker zones, A and B, so you can select the speakers outside. Does this have outside speakers? So one of the problems with not prepping it yourself, so I don't think it does have outside speakers, but we'll just leave that to the prep when you get in here. Chris shows it through, because I'm obviously I don't want to give you bad information. But this has Bluetooth and all that built in. This TV. Now you have a fireplace here, and this is the remote for this. So you can see right there. Now you see the H there, I think. Low, that's low fan speed. High, that's high fan speed. It's really kicking out the heat. And fan off. You also can set the color of the crystals. You can set the thermostat for it, right? And it also has a timer, so you can set the timer to turn on and turn off whenever you want it to. It's a really good space heater, so on those days where you don't need to quite use the furnace, this will really take the chill out of this room anyway. Okay. Your couch here is a jackknife, so you grab it down there and pull it out. The jackknife's flat to turn into a bed. This table, you pull the poles out of it, set the tabletop onto these cleat around here, and you can turn these cleats around there, and you can turn it into another bed. The microwave works like any other microwave. This is the range that we talked about. If you're gonna vent the burners, you can turn on the fan itself and open the baffle on the outside so it flaps freely and vent to the outside. It also has a light on it. Okay. I don't know if he's got the gas turned on here, so we'll see. These 3 burners right here are for the. There's 3 knobs here are for the burners. This knob is for the oven. This is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark. So let's see what we got here. It's that simple. Okay. When it comes to the oven, it's a little different. There's a pilot light all the way to the back down there. Maybe we can see it spark, maybe? Yeah. So you can see there's a pilot light back there. So what you do, you go to the oven knob and you go to the picture of the pilot light. Then you depress it. You keep it depressed while you're lighting it. You spark it to turn it clockwise till it lights. Once it lights, still holding it in, you hold it long enough to heat up the thermocouple, which is another 10-15 seconds or so. You heat up the thermocouple, then you go to operating temperature. And it's pretty much that simple. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you really have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. You also have lights here. Oven light below it. Okay. Always travel with this shut. That's important. You have regular drawers. Let me just look through here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green. If it's not green, get it serviced. It's obviously very important. This is your power converter. So, on this side you got regular 120 AC circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled. Okay? Then on this side you got 12 volt DC fuses, and they're all labeled. So this converts 120 AC to 12 volt DC, right? That's why it's called it power converter. So this is where the DC power comes from. It also senses how much energy your battery up on the tongue needs, and it'll send, as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll send as many amps necessary to keep your battery charged up front on the tongue. When you're pulling down the road, your alternator's tow vehicle will charge the battery, and also the solar panel will charge it as it can, depending on the conditions outside. You know, the time of day and the direction of the sun is in the sky, and the angle of the sun in the sky, and the you know, is it cloudy or sunny, whatever. So there's 3 different ways that the battery gets charged. Okay, so it's a power converter. Refrigerator is a 12-volt DC refrigerator. Runs on 12-volt DC. Keep that in mind. You have a cooler here for beverages of all kinds. Okay. Let me look around a bit. So we'll come back here to this rear bathroom, master bath, I guess it would be called. Keep in mind there's a GFCI right here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. So even the ones that are just a regular receptacle, like these back here, you know, it still says wired through a GFCI, and what it means is it's still wired through this one right here. So if you're using something here or outside, whatever, and it pops, find the GFCI that was tripped and reset it there. If you ever have trouble with your receptacles, you think something's wrong, always go around and make sure that none of them are tripped. 9 times out of 10 that'll solve your problem. So, okay. Toilet works like any other toilet, RV toilet. It sits right over a black tank. It's got a flush pedal right here. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You come inside, you put a dose of chemical in the bowl, right? Then you stand on the pedal and hold it down till you put at least a gallon of water in the black tank below along with the chemical. Then it's ready to be used. You can use it with more than a gallon of water, just don't use less. And never use it dry. If you don't do that, if you don't put chemical and water in it, it's considered using it dry. And if you do that, it'll get clogged up, the smell will be terrible, and it'll just be a real mess. So always, the front toilet is the same way. The front toilet has its own black tank, so you proceed to repeat the procedure over every toilet. Okay. Okay. So let's head up front here. So this will be the main bathroom here. Same thing applies to this toilet. A dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water. Now never travel with this not attached. So you open it here, obviously, right? And then you close it this way. But never leave it, never travel with this not attached. So you always want to attach this thing like this, so it can't rattle around and slam together and go every which way, because eventually, some year or sometime, it's going to crack. But if you leave it, if you keep this piece on there and it's hooked to the other knob here, it'll never crack. It'll be fine forever. So you always want to keep this latched when you're traveling. Okay, you have also a fan above this one. Another GFCI, of course. There's more storage, more drawers. Okay, so under here we have a screen for the middle sliding door. Let me see, I'm sure it's here. Yeah, so there's the screen for it. If I pick up the cover for the bed platform, there's going to be what do we call it? Vertical blinds that hang on that door also, and you can hang those there. This is a wardrobe. Always keep this latched when you're traveling. It's to hang things, obviously, close. Always latch it. Never let it just fling around. This is a closet or a washer compartment, washer dryer. So you can see it's got the hookups here. So this is, you can either use it as a regular closet, or you can use it as a combination washer dryer, or what most people prefer, the stackable washer dryer. This has to be removed, but it comes right out. And you can put a stackable washer dryer in there if you choose to. Okay. Second air conditioner in here. This one, that's why it's a 50 amp system. This one's not attached to a thermostat, so it has this type of seated assembly. So you set your thermostat here, and then you choose either 2 fan speeds or 2 cooling speeds here. Okay, or off. Again, another TV hookup here. It has a backing plate, so you can put a bracket here if you need to. So you've got that covered. All right. I think that's going to do it for us here. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's important. It should be part of your regular routine. Right now this has antifreeze in it, so it's ready for the winter. But there's no water in it, so keep in mind it's winterized with antifreeze. Okay? Thank you very much.